Hi, first grade. We are going to read Magic Treehouse. We forgot to read yesterday, so we have 3 chapters left in our story. So this might be kind of a long video. I'm going to read all the chapters that we have left. So that means if you are kind of feeling like you don't want to watch for the whole time, you can always push pause and then take a little break and then come back and finish the rest of the story later. I'm going to try to do one big video, but sometimes my computer is not being super friendly, so if that happens, I might stop it and make another one. So let's see. Jack and Annie, last time we saw them, they had some polar bear masks on, and they were trapped on the cracked ice. So they were copying the mommy polar bear and how she was saving her baby polar bears, and they were sliding on the ice. And Jack was saying that when he was sliding, it felt like he was flying. So let's see what Jack and Annie are doing now. Jack, you can get up now, said Annie. Jack opened his eyes. Annie was standing over him. She still had her polar bear mask on. We're on safe ground, she said. Jack felt as if he had been dreaming. He looked around. They had reached the tundra at the edge of the frozen sea. The cubs were romping in the distance, but their mother was sitting nearby, gazing at Jack and Annie, so the mommy polar bear is watching them. She waited to make sure we were safe, said Annie. Jack stared at the polar bear in awe. That's like, wow. The words of the seal hunter came back to him. Always thank the animal spirits. We should thank the polar bear spirit now, he said. Of course, said Annie. Jack scrambled to his feet, still wearing his polar bear mask. He stood before the polar bear and pressed his hands together. We thank you, he said, bowing. So kind of like in yoga, he's going, we thank you. Yes, we thank you forever, said Annie, bowing too. We thank you beyond the moon and the stars, said Jack, and beyond the deepest sea, said Annie. Then she threw out her arms and twirled around. Jack did the same. They both danced around in the snow, honoring the bear. Finally, they stopped and bowed one last time. When they looked up, the polar bear rose up on her hind legs. That means like her back legs. She was twice as tall as Jack. She's 2 Jacks tall. She lowered her huge head as if she were bowing back to them. At that moment, the sky exploded. The night became a giant swirl of red, green, and purple lights. It looked like a genie coming out of a magic lamp. That reminds me of the picture on the cover. The sight took Jack's breath away. He stared in wonder as the dazzling lights lit the tundra. Is it the polar bear spirit? Asked Annie. As far as Jack could see, the sky and snow shimmered. Even the bear's fur shimmered in the strange light. No, it's not a spirit, said Jack. There's got to be a scientific reason. I'll find out. Shaking, he reached into his backpack. He pulled out the Arctic book, took off his bear mask, and put on his glasses. By the greenish glow of the lights, Jack found a picture of the skylights in his book. The picture didn't look even close to the real thing. It said, one of the most amazing sights in the Arctic is the northern lights. The swirl of light is caused by electrically charged particles from the sun striking atoms and molecules in the Earth's atmosphere. Wow, so it's happening in outer space. See, there is a scientific reason, said Jack. It's not the spirits. Then suddenly, all the dancing lights were gone, just like as if someone had blown out a candle. Poof! The magic had ended. So here they are. Here's Jack and Annie and the polar bear mom and the babies. And they're watching all of the beautiful lights. Kind of like on the cover of the book. Chapter 8, Riddle Solved. Now only the moon shone on the snow. Jack looked around for the polar bear. She was gone. Where did she go? Asked Annie. I don't know, said Jack. He looked over the tundra. There was no sign of the giant bear or her cubs. Maybe she's not interested in scientific reasons, said Jack. Annie sighed. She took off her bear mask and handed it to Jack. He put both their masks in his backpack. Now what? Said Annie. They looked around. The vast fields of snow ended in darkness. Jack had no idea where they were, so they're standing in like a big, flat, snowy place, and they're looking around and they don't see anything. It just goes on forever until it's dark. He shrugged. I guess we just have to walk and hope for the best. Wait, said Annie. Listen. From the distance came howling sounds. Ow! What do you think it is? Do you remember earlier in the story? Let me see if I can find the picture for you. What was happening in chapter 4? From the distance came howling sounds. They got louder and louder. Yay! We don't have to wait long, said Annie. The huskies are coming! Howling filled the night as the dog sled came into view. The seal hunter was running next to it. We're here! Over here! Called Jack. He ran towards the sled and Annie followed. I was afraid you were lost, said the seal hunter. We were, said Annie, and we got stuck on thin ice too. But a polar bear helped us. Yeah, said Jack, and we wore your masks and they made us feel like bears. Yeah, the masks made us brave, said Annie. Oh man, wait, said Jack. Annie's words sounded familiar. He took out his notebook and read Morgan's riddle. I cover what's real and hide what's true. But sometimes I bring out the courage in you. What is covering what's real and making people have courage and feel brave? A mask! Shouted Jack and Annie. The seal hunter smiled. You knew all along, said Annie. It was for you to discover, said the seal hunter, not me. Jack pulled the bear masks out of his backpack. Here you go, he said. Thank you a lot. The hunter took the masks and put them inside of his parka, his coat. We can go home now, said Jack. Do you mind taking us back to our treehouse, said Annie. The seal hunter shook his head. Nope, climb on, he said. Jack and Annie climbed onto the dog sled. Mush, said the seal hunter. Mush, said Annie. Mush, said Jack. Snow began to fall as they took off across the dark ice. Okay, we have just a little bit more to read. I am going to make one more video. So maybe if you're done watching this video, you can take a little break. And then chapter 9 is called Oh No, One More. I wonder what that means. So I will read that one in just a little bit, okay?